In recent years, a parenting style called gentle parenting has blown up, and it basically on the internet looks like letting your child run around doing whatever they want, responding with, "That's okay," and not giving much discipline. While this has rage baited the very many that have been raised under a belt, um, I'm going to deliver a speech on the different types of parenting styles and the effects that they can have on your children. Knowing about parenting styles, while interesting to some, including me, can be useful in figuring out different personality traits and habits you've gained and the origins behind them. It can also aid you in figuring out a parenting technique that suits you and your family for the future. Today, I'm going to be giving a description and the outcomes on authoritarian, authoritative, permissive, and neglectful parenting, and the outcomes on the child. So, the first parenting style is the authoritarian parenting style. This style is known for high expectation, low reward. Just pretend this is my little diagram. Okay, so where this would go is right here. It would go up here because it's high expectation, low demand. So, basically, they give a lot of demands. They expect so much from their kids, but emotionally, there is no reward. There is no, wow, you did so great. Wow, you did this. According to the American SPCC, they can't show up for them emotionally. The Mayo Clinic says that these children typically are rebellious, socially awkward, and have a reduced ability in solo decision making because their whole life they've been told what to do without an explanation behind it. Although they are good at obeying rules and following instruction, it will not help them when they go into the real world. Okay, they have the benefit of keeping their child safe, but at what cost? When they grow up, they're not going to know much, and their social maturity is way down here. Many of the outcomes of this parenting style are negative, but if the parents embedded just a little bit more emotion, what do you think that would do to the parenting style? Well, I can tell you, it would turn it into the authoritative parenting style, which is still up here, but it's on this side. So there is more social awards, and there are more expectation. It's high on both sides. So it is known for high reward and high expectation. The American SPCC describes this parenting style as, and I quote, the healthiest and most effective style. This parenting style offers kindness and understanding on behalf of the parent while still enforcing rules, expectations, and structure. This is the ideal gentle parenting style. You should be treating your child emotionally gently while still giving them structure and consequences for their actions. Children raised by this are known to be successful, self-assured, and achievement-oriented, as well as academically smarter. Authoritative parents set their child up for success, and they turn into upstanding citizens later in life. Okay, so if authoritative parents didn't have demand or consequence, and they were only socially and emotionally invested in their children, that would actually be considered a parenting style known as permissive parenting. This is what we're actually seeing when a lot of people, this is what we're interpreting as gentle parenting, where there are no rules, there are no consequences, and there's only kindness from the parent. These children treat their parents like their best friends, which many would think is not a bad thing, but it kind of is. On this board, it would be way down here where we're high social, low expectation. So it would be in this part of our quadrant, this quadrant of our graph. According to the Very Well Mind, these parents are less, many don't see the issue in being a parent. In being a parent that's friends with their kid, but the issue is that they don't really follow through with their consequences, and they use a lot of bribery to get their kids to be compliant, which isn't very good. These kids aren't going to be stunted socially, and they're going to have a lot of self-confidence, but they are impulsive and they struggle to have self-discipline. The reason for this is because they were never demonstrated self-discipline at any point in their lives. Well, the outcome of this seems pretty intense. There is another tier below permissive parenting, which would be no reward, no expectation. The parent is completely unavailable emotionally and physically. This would be a neglectful parent. This is also known as uninvolved parenting, and this is only for parents who are continuously uninvolved in their children's life, according to Healthline. So the different forms of neglect are hard to identify because at different stages in the child's life, there are different needs that aren't being met. Whereas a baby, the neglect would be, not physically feeding them, not nurturing them. With an older child, the neglect would be not making them meals and not helping them with their homework. But it is all categorized behind the fact that they just don't show up for their child in either way, making them in this quadrant of our little graph here. So basically, these parents, they do seem like monsters, and obviously the child is affected, but keep in mind that there are a number of things that can cause a neglectful parent, including mental health issues, work conditions, and family structure, like being a single parent. The outcomes of this are kids, they just don't have self-confidence, and they don't have the ability to make close relationships. But the benefits are that they are pretty self-reliant and self-independent because they never really had a parent there to help them with many things. Parents who neglect their children have other choices, but don't have any other choice typically, but that doesn't make them a better person. It just gives them a little bit of an excuse. So today I described each of the different parenting styles, and knowing these styles can help you identify what you grew up with and what you want to do for your future children. And it can also help you analyze those around you and give you possible explanations for why they've done what they've done. Being able to identify this is beneficial for, I would say, everyone. There's nobody who is exempt to having a childhood, and there's nobody who, well, there are people who are exempt to giving a childhood to somebody, but there is nobody who is exempt from having a childhood. Now that you know about the outcomes, I hope this gives you a different lens to look through when you are parenting or when you're just interacting with your peers and maybe even your parents. Gives you a little bit of an explanation about why they do what they do.